Good evening, and thank you for all of your attendance. I really appreciate the crowd tonight. Thank you for your attendance. If you're not familiar with JCEL and our programs, our program was founded in 2004 as a way to help students advance ideas that they've come up with. And since then, we've really tried to encourage students to focus on problem solving. Try to find a way to solve a problem that exists in the marketplace and recognizing that opportunity to come up with a creative solution. So this competition is one way for those students to be able to advance those ideas, get constructive feedback from our judges in order to move those ideas forward. So we're hopeful of our 5 finalists about their business ideas this evening. Tonight our 5 finalists are going to pitch on ideas they've come up with to solve problems that they have recognized in the marketplace. And so hopefully they'll gain some very valuable feedback from our judges. And so if I can do a brief introduction for our judges. Ken Tomlinson is 2008. Ken, if you'd like to give it a... So Ken is a 2008 alumnus of Juniata College. He's currently CFO of NextFab, which is a rather large, over 21,000 square feet, collaborative makerspace. They offer development through awareness and access to the next generation of digital design and fabrication, along with the consulting services that go along with that. Though Ken is a CFO of the company, will readily admit that he's probably more problem solver and money finder than necessarily the CFO. So Ken, thank you for being a judge tonight. Our second judge is Travis Paul. Travis is actually filling in for those of you that thought Tracy Grajewski was judging tonight, Travis is our fill-in. Tracy is unfortunately unable to make it tonight. But Travis is a 2008 alum as well. He was actually an entrepreneurship student COE when he was here. He's currently finance manager for U.S. Dealer, Caribbean, and Export Operations for PPG Industries. He gets to travel to the Caribbean, which has got to be a really rough life, I'm sure. Upon Travis's last visit, I actually found out that we have one of Travis's products in our building. He pointed out a table that he created as an entrepreneurship student at JCEL, and so he's actually an alum of the JCEL program as well. So thank you, Travis. And our final judge is Michael Barnett, and so Michael is probably more familiar with the scenario than anybody else. Michael is an 89 alum, correct, of Juniata College. He took his business, Romp and Roll, to Shark Tank, and he actually turned down the offers that were given him on the show. Romp and Roll is a premier, let me make sure I get this right, premier play-based educational program for children and their parents. He currently owns and operates and has franchised out since inception. So I think today he let me know they have over 80 locations in China, and they're now concentrating on the U.S. market. So Michael, thank you for being a judge.
Thank you.
So we can move this along quickly. Our order has already been selected for our pitch finalists. We just ask that during the competition, please make sure your phones are on silent and we keep the chatter to a minimum. We are also live streaming this on YouTube right now as well, so for those that cannot be here, they can watch it. Each panel or each pitch entrant will have 90 seconds to pitch their idea to the judges. Judges will confer and select their winners after all the finalists have pitched. You as audience members also have an opportunity to pitch or to vote for your favorite. So the last slide will show you text to vote numbers for each of the panelists, and you may vote on your favorite as well, and we'll be able to see that while the judges are conferring on their decisions. So without further ado, our first finalist for tonight is Joss Hillard.
So you're thousands of miles from home on an overnight train in Thailand, and you wake up to realize that your backpack is gone, containing all of your possessions, such as your passport and money. So what do you do? Well, this happened to my sister, and it's something that is extremely distressing for a backpacker as well as their family back home. Now, backpacks by brands such as the North Face and Osprey, they just currently don't offer what we need. They don't offer any security, they offer no versatility, and very little long-term comfort. So, here is my solution. The Vigado incorporates over 25 unique features to perform perfectly in these areas. Features such as a lockable steel wire seam that cannot be cut, memory foam pads for better comfort, and a detachable day bag so you can use it anywhere and don't have to carry this with you everywhere. Now I know it won't be easy to break into the markets of outdoor gear and tourism, but this is something that I really, really believe in. I'm looking for $1,000 today to develop this idea through a series of prototypes locally produced. Then once I have that perfect backpack, I plan on creating a video for the online platform of Kickstarter. This will then help me to develop more funds, the real excitement around this product, and the brand awareness that I so desperately need to break into this competitive market. So, who is ready to back the bag? Because a backpacker needs more than just a backpack.
What do you expect this to retail at?
Well, Travis, I'm hoping at the moment that to stay competitive, we're looking at kind of, I want to release this in 3 ranges. So a standard sort of bag, medium kind of intermediate bag, then an expert pack. So on average, North Face are retailing at around $239 for a backpacking bag. Osprey slightly higher, it's around $250. So to stay competitive, I want the standard at maybe just below that average, the intermediate slightly higher, and then the expert bag to be around $300, because then that stays competitive with their high-end bags, which normally retail at around $310, $320.
What's it going to cost you to create a prototype?
So to create a prototype, I'm hoping that I'm going to need to create 3 or 4 prototypes realistically, because I want to test these out, and I know that there are going to be tweaks and things I'm going to have to make. So 3 to 4 is my plan. I'm hoping that it's going to take around $300 to $400 to then get all of the materials to create 3 to 4 packs, and then I'm going to need the extra sort of money to then help develop it with people who have this kind of develop in mind, and then to actually manufacture. So I'm hoping it's probably going to take the full 1,000 to develop around 3 packs.
How much are people spending annually on backpacks for hiking?
So hiking bags, if you encompass all backpacks in the US currently, the market is worth around $2.7 billion. The demographic I'm looking at is around 200 million backpackers. Currently they're spending on average $230 every 2 years on backpacks. So this pack is designed to last for longer than 2 years. So I'm hoping that it will bring down their costs as well. It'll create more value for the customers in the long run by this being superior to what is offered currently.
It seems that the student backpack market might be even larger than that market if you consider having an even lesser version to tap into that.
I can potentially consider that, yes. The student backpack market currently is booming, and the sort of technology part of that as well is something I've considered incorporating. So backpacks that contain battery packs and so on for people on the move. Definitely for students, that is potentially an option. Once I've established a brand name that is known for innovation in backpacks, which is what I'm planning to do, I'm hoping then, yeah, that I could potentially expand this into more innovation, day-to-day packs, and sort of further from that. But this is the idea that I have to try and break into that market currently.
You said brand name 4 or 5 times. What's the last brand name backpack that came on the market that became a brand name?
So there's one currently, which KP Duffel, which is one that was a Kickstarter pack. It was developed around about a year ago. They gained 4,160% of their initial goal. So they've raised over $650,000 in a period of 30 days. So they're currently in the process of becoming the next big brand name. Theirs was a duffel bag for travel, mine is a backpack. So we're looking at a slightly different market here.
Are you a backpacker yourself?
I am, yeah. So don't let the sharp suit fool you. I'm a rough and ready backpacker. The US this summer is going to be the 4th continent I'll have backpacked in around about 5 years. So this is something that's very close to my heart. I've had about 5 or 6 backpacks that have all just fallen apart or been stolen. So that's the idea.
Speaking of brand names, you mentioned some big ones. How do you expect to be able to compete against them, on the shelf? Is that your distribution?
So the idea is, the key to this is going to be speed into the market. So a brand like North Face, they have 50% of the market currently for backpacks and for outdoor gear in general. So speed to market and creating that excitement through things like social media. So this is why I'm going through the Kickstarter route. 30 days, develops your brand name, develops a huge market, and you see these things coming up on Facebook and other social media sites constantly. They kind of boom and they take off. And if I do this in the right way, with my kind of video production skills as well, I'm hoping I can really create that social media boom, which then gets it to market faster than the North Face can then create something to compete with this.
Have you modeled out the cost of goods sold for, like, I mean, you talk about prototyping, prototypes are more expensive than product, but what are the costs like for the actual manufacturing?
So for the manufacturing, I'm looking to hopefully, once we do the local manufacturing, once I have the prototype in and I have the scales and everything worked out for how this backpack is made, I'm looking for outsourcing overseas. I do have some contacts in China with a manufacturing firm over there. So I'm hoping that then we can manufacture this at a much lower cost. Obviously, this is something that's fairly difficult to work out currently, and I'm looking for some kind of help with that area of things. That's how far it goes so far. So looking beyond prototype is fairly difficult currently. Thank you very much.
Do you have a couple minutes to make any final remarks on your scores? Are you ready?
Have you heard of the starving artist? That's a real concern for a lot of emerging artists. We often hear, you can't get a job in that, or how are you going to support yourself? And like in any career, figuring out what you're going to do once you're on your own is a difficult and daunting task. So my idea is an alternative arts co-op specifically for helping the young artists get that start. The co-op would consist of a workspace, a gallery space, and resources. What would make us unique is that we have a strong focus on teaching young artists how to make a living with their art. We'd also focus on collaboration and networking the young artists. Traditional galleries aren't really going to help you with that. They're often looking for already established artists and people with experience. So the co-op would work as that middle ground between being in a school setting and being totally on your own in the art industry. We do this by selling memberships at an affordable price. In exchange, the artists would help maintain and work for the gallery. We would also give them the opportunity to use workspace, our resources, and show and sell their work. We'd also be selling tickets to community members so they can come see our gallery on a regular basis or come attend special events. The co-op would not only be helping the emerging artists, but also get the community more involved in art. So let's make the next generation of artists successful and not starving.
What will your annual operating costs for the business be?
Monthly, it would be about $1,000 for the operations. That would be mostly rent and equipment based.
It'll be located where?
We would have one small one in Huntington, and we would probably move a larger full-scale one to a different location, which is, depending on the market, would still be determined.
And how much will a membership cost?
I would say about $50, and we'd aim for about 6 people per month if we would have $1,000 per month as our fixed cost.
So you charge an individual artist $50?
Yes, but there'd also be employees, so we'd get some return on that. And we'd also get a commission off what they sell in the gallery, so that would be another revenue stream.
So $50 times 6 memberships is $300 against operating expenses of $1,000. And the rest of your income would come from ticket sales, you said?
I would say it would be mostly ticket sales because we'd have a lot of events and almost run like a museum with admissions. Another would be just from selling work and getting a cut from that, and possibly also selling the art supplies directly to the artist in the studio space.
So is it $50 a month or is it $50 a year?
No, it would be a month.
You mentioned co-op. Co-op as a governance model, or co-op as in more of like a co-working type thing?
It would be more of a co-working type thing.
Do you have any concern that starving artists may not have $50 a month?
Yeah, that is a concern, but for them to be totally on their own they would have to find a studio, or find other people. So this would be kind of that middle ground. That could be worked out, but I think $50 a month would be okay. And that would give them time to work other jobs if they had to.
How many art POEs graduate from Juniata on an annual basis?
I'm not sure about that.
Who would be some of your competitors? I guess we'll say art galleries or museums or also might be.
So in Huntington specifically, we have an arts council, and there's a couple of galleries, but there's not a big connection with the younger artists. I interviewed them, and the thing is they don't have a lot of connection with these younger students. They don't have a lot of opportunity for them. So there's really, the only competition is where people would buy the art from, but there's no opportunity for them to have studio space.
What type of events are you thinking about hosting?
Well, there could be days where they come in and see the working artists. We could possibly have traveling artists, as I mentioned, a network. So we could have artists from a couple different schools that come and travel through, so we have like more specialized events for screenings and that kind of thing.
Have you had an opportunity to talk to any potential customers, I guess you call them, about your idea?
I talked to some of the younger art students, and a lot of them have told me that they're very scared to move on from school. Where do they go? They can't afford an art space. They would have to modify and take a normal job. All right, thank you.
Next finalist is Alex Hahn. Judges, just so you know, this is not a bribe. This is part of his pension.
So, with the after from the Ocean County
One cup.
Have you tried anything? Have you tried any other beverage except coffee or other traditional beverage? In Huntington, there's no other new beverage or cultural drink. So today, I want to introduce my business idea: a beverage truck called Troublemaker, selling bubble tea, a popular non-carbonated four-seasonal Asian beverage. There's some tapioca balls in there, so like you can chew, and also bubble tea made by different flavor of milk powder and different chewing ingredients like jelly and red beans. It has been sold in some big cities. So, and one bubble tea supplier's annual sale is $350,000. So, but they are all sell in stores. So, beverage truck is a new selling format. I can drive the truck to anywhere. I can add ice, sugar, any drinks for customers' need, and I also can drive to Penn State game and also the county fairs. As my main target is Juniata college student and tourists in Huntington, because students are students like trying new things, and Huntington County is famous for tourism during the summertime, especially for Riscon Lake. So, and also I will cooperate with Juniata College Language Immersion Program to the local schools for selling these cultural drinks. And the investment of this business is totally is $15,000, and the unit contribution margin is around $2. After 1 year, it will be break even. So, Troublemaker will bring this new cultural drink to enhance the beverage diversity of Huntington County. Thank you.
You mentioned a margin of $2.
Yep.
That's, I guess, per container.
Yep. Okay.
So what would be your retail price?
I have different sizes. So I have three small size, large size, and because it's four seasonal, so I can have the tall size. So normally for small size around $3.50, and the large size is $4.50, and the hall size is same as the large size.
And so you're thinking $2 on average?
Average about. That's why I mentioned about. It's not the exact average.
I'm a little bit concerned with the brand name. How
Yeah.
did you come up with that?
Because our main target is for students and the teenagers, and it's not for like the
Old people like us.
people get older, they won't that free trying new things. So troublemaker is kind of anti-social name, anti-real name. So they want to try new things. They want to break the normal things. They want to try new things. And everybody here, some people call me troublemaker. That's about the extent. And also in Huntington, it's a very peaceful community. and also this is a new product, which means fashion, means that like cultural stuff. This kind of things dumped into this peaceful communities. It's very traditional. So that's why it's make something change. So this is called troublemaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why a truck and not something smaller? Is it the equipment that you need? The truck just feels like overkill.
I mean, it depends on the truck. It depends on the business. That's why I mentioned $15,000 just total. I checked the price on eBay and other things, and I talked to stacks of a food truck. And so I will find the very perfect size for my product. And I went to City College today to grab this bubble tea for you guys. Yeah, because that's the disadvantage for them. Because if I want to drink, I couldn't go to the City College every time. But if I have a truck, I can go there. I have to go anywhere. I follow the demand. I won't let the people follow me. I will follow the demand and go anywhere people have.
So did this come from a store or a truck instead?
Store. There's no truck, and the only one store in this 200 miles. Yeah.
So you said 15,000 is your startup expense?
Yep.
What do you think your annual expense would be on this?
I do a calculation because I do the cost accounting things. So I asked the number from the City College bubble tea shop. Normally, it's one day it's 400 to 600 cups they sell, and for me, I like 200 cups. So which makes sense because we have small communities, and so normally I can gain the revenue. I calculate the revenue because I put all the expense in there. I calculated the net income is around $2,000 per month. So this is how I calculate 1,500 to 2,000 is net income per month. Yeah.
How much are Juniata students spending at the coffee shop here?
I didn't ask that, but I mean from the I think there's two peak time. Normally it's morning and afternoon. So and then night, probably 8 or 9 p.m. So because I have a truck, so I can go anywhere they have people. So during the several times I can stay here, and the rest of the time I can go to other local schools or other places to sell it. So I won't limit it to myself.
Would Juniata give you permission to park your truck in front of houses?
Yeah, I talked to my mentor. I won't park into the school detain. I will park somewhere near Standing Stone or something like that. I know it's gonna come cheaper, but one thing that Standing Stone won't provide is, and all my truck only provide the street. Be professional. So maybe a way near Wise, some area that way. But I will find the better locations.
Would Huntington allow you to do that? Could you get a license for that?
I already talked to my mentor, so we can work on that.
Okay.
It works. It will work. And also the machine. Yeah, and this machine, I checked the machine about how to use it and how to. It won't be big size, so it can put it in the truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many other places, and I'll ask the same question I asked earlier this one, but make it better. So how many other places are selling coffee, tea, or a light product here in Austin?
Here, she's Standing Stone and McDonald's and all this giant things sell that part. But you can see she's Standing Stone, maybe Wise. This only 3 part can sell the coffee near to school. So if I put my truck around this area, it can help me to attract more customers. because my main customers is from Juniata College.
There was a Juniata student last week in thesis who tried a truck here several years ago. And they want to check with him, with his family, regarding the success of that venture.
Okay.
I believe it was ice cream.
Okay. Yeah, I heard some story about ice cream, some food trucks, and also my mentor worked for US pizza company, so that's why his family do the food trucks. So I can gain experience from him to set up my business. Thank you, thank you.
Good job.
Final contestant this evening is Maddie Joyce.
Yuck. If you were to smell this, would you actually drink from this? I personally wouldn't. Hello, my name is Maddie Joyce, and I'm here to solve America's smelly protein problem. What I just smelled was from the BPA-free plastic, which unfortunately is prone to collecting odor and bacteria, and I only washed that a day ago. Because this is such a problem, we can solve this with ProClean. ProClean is a tablet you can throw in your bottle for more efficient and effective cleaning. With no hand washing or dishwasher required, you can have a clean protein blender bottle anywhere at any time. We have several competitors on the market that claim to do a similar job. However, they fail in the ability to take away the aftertaste, smell, and leave a distinct odor. And because of this, we can tackle an $18 billion sports nutrition industry with ProClean. So are you ready to use ProClean for your protein?
How exactly does it work?
So what do we do? So the point of it is to be able to put it in after a workout and be able to almost act like a dishwasher in a sense. So when you put it in, you can shake it up and it will clean because of the BPA-free plastic. It causes with heating, it causes the plastic to cause microscopic cracks in it, which will affect how the bacteria gets into the plastic, which makes it very difficult to clean just by hand washing or throwing in a dishwasher. So it's kind of stopping the problem before it actually happens.
So you've got your shake residue in the bottle. You put a tablet in.
Yes.
And you fill with water.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's being able to clean it before the actual stink or the bacteria start to accumulate in the bottle.
So if all the alternatives are bad, and the only alternative is to throw it away, how many times do you think somebody would how many of those a year would somebody throw away?
Well, personally, I've thrown out about 5 to 7 of my own, so costing around $70 worth. But the thing is, it's the only way I can make sure that the protein is completely combined. And so it's kind of a necessary evil that we need to have it anyway. And so it's preventing me from stop drinking protein altogether and trying to look for alternatives. And that's kind of where it resulted.
So what are the competitor price points?
So we have 2 competitors, one being a company called Bottle Bright, and the other being a company called Purify. Purify is a liquid, and because it's a liquid, it has about 24 uses in it, give and take how much you put in or how less you put in. And then the Bottle Bright, I actually bought the product thinking that it would be able to solve the problem, but since it's marketed to disinfecting water bottles, not where other residues have been in, that's where it kind of motivated me to try to find a solution to this problem.
I use a bottle just like that almost every day, and I have to say it doesn't smell. At least I don't think it does. So how do you know this is really a problem that needs to be solved?
Well, I've had personal problems, but I've talked to a lot of people, especially on campus, that that I've interviewed that I didn't even mention about the smell, and it's been the top thing that's come up to mind about if you leave it, even if you throw it in a workout bag and forget it, after the bottle has been used a couple times, as I said before, the BPA-free plastic, the bacteria starts to grow into the cracks because of hot water, and unfortunately that's when it starts to bake into the plastic, which then you have to throw it out and buy a new one.
So you mentioned your competitors. What's the cost of cleaning? So what would be, every time that I want to clean this, what would be the cost?
Well, with Bottle Bright, if you were to purchase it, even though it's not as effective as, it's not marketed to, it's marketed towards water bottles, it's about $5 for 10 tablets that they provide, and then Purify is about 4 fluid ounces and 24 uses, give and take how much you use. So I'm working with a professor in the chemistry department now, and we're trying to formulate a tablet that we could potentially lower the cost as well to be able to make this happen.
Let me ask you two questions.
Okay.
What would you pay to clean it?
Well, if I would say like about $5 for a pack of 10 personally, especially because I pay a good amount for throwing the bottle out, and if I could buy something that would change that solution so I didn't have to pay $10 every time I throw out a bottle, it would save me money as well and a lot of other people.
How will you distribute the product?
So my plan is to license it to like a GNC or and we were debating whether to do it for like a supplement company or for the actual like blender bottle company, because it's kind of a factor that plays in the two, whether it's the protein or the blender bottle. So we were thinking about licensing it to a GNC.
Blender bottle company buy the patent and then never win. Because if they're selling 7 of those to an individual eater, they'll never win.
Do you get that?
Any other questions? So while our judges confer on their finals, we will put up the information for the text to vote. If you would like to.
So you can vote for your favorite contestant tonight. You can vote, you can send a text message to this number, and all you have to do is send the corresponding number. You don't need to say their name or anything else, just type that number to that, and you're allowed to vote 2 times. You should also get a response back. If you don't, something was wrong.
judges are conferring, I'll just talk to you a little bit about the process that some of the students went through. Beginning of, we launched the pitch competition during our Global Entrepreneurship Week in November, where we announced the competition and started letting students know what the idea of the competition was. In February, or in January, when students returned from break, we collected 35 abstracts from students that were interested in competing in the competition. Those abstracts were judged and whittled down to the top 10. Those 10 finalists were matched with mentors at a mentor networking event in February. And our mentors ranged from community business leaders to some of our outstanding alumni, some of whom are here tonight as well. And they worked with the students to help them identify, areas in their business idea that they wanted to try to pursue, focusing again on how can they try to solve a particular problem. So the students worked with the mentors between February up through the beginning of April, and then about 2 weeks ago, students, the top 10 finalists, submitted their videotaped pitches, and then those pitches were judged. Students were given the feedback, and we whittled them down to the 5 finalists that presented tonight. So it looks like I probably shouldn't have made an announcement for all of the ladies in the audience not to let the UK accent sway your decision. So judges should just be another minute. I think they were, but they were going to be fairly quick. make sure, I have a couple of thanks I want to make sure I get out. Obviously, I want to thank our sponsors for the competition. We've been graciously sponsored the last 3 years by Sheetz, Walmart, and EB Enders. So we're appreciative of their support of our program. I'd also especially like to thank my assistant director, Christy Putt, and our Juniata associate, Tiffany Carter, who actually are the ones who do all the work for this, and it wouldn't happen if it weren't for them. So I'm very appreciative of their help. I'd also like to thank the Digital Media Lab and their crew. They're the ones that set up the sound, the video, and live stream on YouTube. So again, very appreciative of your Okay, and I would like to just give one more round of applause for our finalists.
Let's also give applause for Terry for putting this together.
Our fourth place finalist is Jane Shapiro. Our third place runner-up, Alex Hahn. Our first runner-up, Maddie Joyce. And our 2016 Business Pitch Competition winner, Josh Hiller. Jeff, you'll be happy to know, excellent handshakes, all five of them. Well, again, thank you for your attendance this evening. We appreciate your participation in the program. Finalists, thank you again for all your hard work and preparation for tonight. Judges, thank you very much for all of your hard work and participation in our event as well. I look forward to discussing this further with you this evening. We're going to stick around for some few photos after. If anybody has any questions about our program or wants to talk to any of our finalists, please feel free to stick around for a little bit to do that. And again, thank you very much for a great evening. Appreciate it.